Started. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for being here. My name is Tony Procopio. I'm one of the founders here at Think Plus, along with my business partners, Jim, Brendan, and Ed Kenny. And this is our call to action that we do weekly. And today we're joined by corporate. We have Shannon with us. We have Kelly with us. We have Charla, who's going to be joining us as well. And a lot of information to go over because we just found out last night about our new program that we have set up, for with corporate, with our programs. And it is amazing what we have going on with AutoSave and with the Thermostat program. Am I sharing the right slides here? Just want to make sure before I go. No, for some reason I have to go back quite a bit. I guess I wasn't at the beginning. There we go. Now we're at the beginning. So welcome to the training for AutoSave and Smart Thermostat training in the new markets that we just opened. So a lot of information to go over, and we're just at the beginning of something great. Everybody's been waiting for this, and I know that there's a lot of people who have a lot of questions. So what we're going to do is go through all of the information from start to finish, and then we'll open it up for questions after, okay? So let's get through the information quickly because there is a lot of information here to impart to everyone. So first, well, there's me when I had hair before. I had longer hair before. So that's an old picture. Have to update that one. So AutoSave plus Smart Thermostat. Now we've all known about AutoSave because it's relatively new, but it's been around with us for about 5 or 6 months. And that program is moving forward rapidly in multiple states, obviously. And now we're entering the window for even smarter savings with the Smart Thermostat program. Now, a lot of us are familiar with the Think Smart program in the state of Texas, which is different. It works similarly because it revolves around smart thermostats. But the Think Smart program is Texas. The Smart Thermostat with AutoSave is for the markets outside of Texas, where we have just opened and introduced the Smart Thermostat with AutoSave. So we're entering this new window for smarter savings. So these are the markets that we found out last night on the Empower Hour, and great job to everybody at corporate. What a great call that was. We have the AutoSave plus Smart Thermostat now live and available in Illinois, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. This is fully updated, ready to go. You'll enroll once in AutoSave, and then you'll be able to, once a customer becomes an AutoSave customer first, they'll then be able to connect a compatible smart thermostat by March 29th to lock in that 5% savings. And we're going to be keying in on that March 29th date a lot during this training so that you understand exactly what we have our hands on and why that date is important. So keep note of that. And then why this matters, why is it important? Well, first of all, you get a guaranteed minimum 5% savings when you connect a smart thermostat to your AutoSave account. That's versus the utilities price to compare. So you're getting this predictable locked-in value and no fees and no commitments, and it eliminates the supplier shopping that everybody is just tired of that. They have supplier choice fatigue. That's what I call it out in the marketplace, because 90% of people who've tried have been burned in one way or another. And that's why this comes in so effectively for customers. They don't have any more headaches. They don't have any more uncertainty. They can take advantage of this. And again, right at the bottom, it says, when connected by March 29th, and utilizing and participating in the Smart Thermostat program. So very important to understand that we have something that really no one else is offering. I haven't seen anyone else offer this. And these are proprietary platforms like AutoSave. That's our proprietary platform. So this is a powerful, mechanism that we have when you combine these two technologies together and offer things that no one else is able to offer. So let's kind of give the side-by-side AutoSave with a compatible smart thermostat and the regular standard AutoSave. All right, so let's first talk about AutoSave plus the compatible smart thermostat program. So first you enroll in AutoSave and then you connect a compatible smart thermostat. That's another keyword that you're going to be keying in on here as well and paying attention to: compatible smart thermostat. The customer is served by Think Energy every month while they're participating in the Smart Thermostat program. They're not being moved back and forth to the utility or to Think Energy based on the regular AutoSave platform. They're actually going to be served by Think Energy while that qualified thermostat, compatible thermostat, is connected and they're participating in the program. And they do this by March 29th to guarantee a minimum of 5% savings as long as they participate in the program. Now, AutoSave standard applies in all markets. There's no thermostat required. You get the benefit of switch to Think Energy when savings are available, go to the utility when the utility has a better rate than Think Energy, and that's how we get that guarantee of never to pay more than the utility's price to compare. So we always have the AutoSave standard available. This compatible smart thermostat program is an add-on, something that they can layer on top of being an AutoSave customer so that they can then participate in even higher savings and a better guarantee. Let's put it that way. So an enhanced guarantee. So what's changing? It's almost like the AutoSave program isn't changing for really. What we're doing is adding another layer to it that allows customers to choose something greater than what they have with just the standard AutoSave program. So we are flipping the script because the smart thermostat is an add-on. It's the unlock. It's the key to unlocking value for customers that without the smart thermostat, they cannot unlock this value. So very powerful. And, AutoSave, we've heard Michael Falquist talk about it, that AutoSave is the key to unlocking many technologies in the future and unlocking all different things that we have. It all starts with AutoSave. It is the ultimate unlock with our programs that we have now and with what's coming up. I love the new scripts. It's kind of like these cool things that you can talk about. And there's an FAQ that has a really cool script, which I'm gonna share with you in a sec as well. But for a limited time, here's the new script. AutoSave customers who connect a compatible connected smart thermostat get guaranteed savings of at least 5% every month with zero effort. I love this. At least 5%. See, 5% or more. It's not accurate to just say it's 5%. At least 5%. And that's a key thing to note when you're talking to people about this. This is a minimum of 5%. It's 5% or more. It's at least 5%. It's not 5% and that's it. So make sure you understand that as well. If you're not ready to connect a smart thermostat yet, no problem. Just be an AutoSave customer. We can still help you. In the markets, I mean, Michael Falk was put out some averages that we had there. We averaged 5% savings in the AutoSave markets. This is before the smart thermostat came in most of the markets, and up to 20% depending on market conditions, because we have had some customers save up to 20%. But really, it's just like get on the platform with AutoSave because you're never going to pay more than the utility. So everything that we've learned about AutoSave still applies. We just now have this added benefit with the smart connected thermostat. So how the smart thermostat saves you money, let's talk about that, because sometimes people want to know, like, how does it actually work? Like, what is it doing in the background? So if you think about it this way, and most people will understand this, in months where you have a lot of heating or a lot of cooling, you end up using and having a higher electric bill. I mean, in the Northeast, in the portions of the country, especially in the PJM markets, in the states where we're open with this thermostat program, Illinois, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, those states, pretty much every customer knows that, look, in the winter, your bill's going to be pretty high depending on the type of energy that you use. And in the summer, it's going to be pretty high. And there are times where in the fall and spring where the costs are lower. So 50% of your heating and cooling can contribute to your electricity costs. With smart thermostats, it allows these small, proactive, temporary adjustments to happen. These adjustments are limited and designed to prioritize comfort. Another key term that you want to embed in your brain when you're talking to people. The smart thermostat program combined with AutoSave is designed to prioritize comfort. That's a great term to use when you're talking with people. Those efficiencies allow Think Energy to offer guaranteed savings. Now, we're going to get into this a little bit more and talk further about this in a second, dig a little bit deeper into that. So what is a compatible smart thermostat? That's the first thing. It has to be an Ecobee, a Honeywell, or a Resideo thermostat, and it has to be one of the models that we have listed in our communication. Like it's the same models that we've been using in Texas. So Ecobee will have a list of models that are compatible. Honeywell will have a list of models that are compatible. Resideo will have a list of models that are compatible. Those are already posted. They've been posted for a year and a half or so in the Texas market. It's the same in the smart thermostat with AutoSave markets. Okay, so it'll be the same. And these are going to be posted. There'll be a special post just for the smart thermostat listing so that you can have access to it quickly. It'll be in the FAQs. It'll be in our BAM app. Everything's going to be there. And it's a lot of it is there right now. And you can easily go and see this list in the Texas post with Think Smart right now. So it needs to be internet connected and verified. So that's pretty simple. And then capable of remote control of heating and or cooling. As long as you pick one of those models from those three manufacturers, then it's going to work. Then it's just a matter of connecting it, how to get it connected to your AutoSave platform. So we'll talk about that as well. So for a limited time opportunity, in order to qualify for this 5% guarantee, the thermostat has to be connected and verified by March 29th. So if a customer signs up on March 29th, they have to have that thermostat up and running, and they have to go through the connection guide that we're going to show you to be able to connect that thermostat before the end of that day. Okay, and verified. It has to be verified. So we want to get these customers in before March 29th. I wouldn't tell people sign up on March 29th and you'll be able to do it. Let's get them connected and verified. So we need to have them all in the hopper. I sit there and think if a customer's verified and connected, we're going to need several days before March 29th for all of that to happen. Okay, so just keep that in mind. The customer has to be verified as a customer, as a Think Energy customer, as an AutoSave customer, and then they have to connect that smart thermostat. Well, what happens after March 29th? Well, the customers can still participate in the regular AutoSave standard, and the window that we have, this March 29th window that we have, aligns with the PJM capacity market enrollment deadlines. Most people have no idea what that means. It just means that there are auctions out there for getting energy and buying it and having the rates set over time in those markets, different than in the state of Texas. And because of that, we have these enrollment windows, and we will have them as we move forward in the future as well. So future thermostat enrollment windows are not guaranteed. There's no guarantee because it's all based on the capacity markets, on these auctions that are happening on a regular basis for energy. A lot of us, we don't even know what that means. We just know that the company procures energy through capacity market auctions. So that's how it works and why we have these windows. So who is an AutoSave, like a best customer for? And this has been out there for a little while too. And somebody asked me recently, so does this mean that a customer has to be all four of these for them to be ideal? No, they only need to be one of these. And they really, I mean, this is just a guideline. They don't have to be any of these. If they just have a desire to be on AutoSave, that's good enough. They have to, however, in order to have the smart thermostat program, they have to already have a compatible smart thermostat. So they have to either have one or take that list and go get one. Order one on Amazon, order one from, go buy one at one of the stores that they frequent. Get in touch with their local utility company to find out if there are specials that are available. Are there, programs where you can get these thermostats at a lower cost? It's always a good thing to call your utility company and find out if you can do that because there are programs going on. There are all types of organizations that are out there that are really trying to get these, smart thermostats in there. And now there are businesses doing it because of data centers and artificial intelligence coming into the market, a huge thirst for energy. It's more important than ever for businesses to get all of their employees and people they know to get onto smart thermostat programs, to get onto things that lower their overall usage amounts or their costs. So we're in the right place doing the right thing. Second, customers who want predictable savings. That'd be ideal for this program. They're tired of shopping for energy plans. That's what it is. It's fatigue, in the energy market. People have been burned. They forget to renew and they get their rate jacked up. Our AutoSave and our smart thermostat program allows and impacts the customer in positive ways who are tired of shopping for energy plans, or for customers who just want to just sign up and set it and forget it. That's who we're looking for. Okay, those are the people who are best suited, for the AutoSave and the smart thermostat program combined. So here are some talking points, like AutoSave talking points. All right, so the question always comes up. What do you say? How do you do it? What are some key talking points? And that's what we're going to do here. Never pay more than the utilities price to compare. Now we know that because we've been trained in AutoSave. And if you're new, great. You're just finding out about it now, and you'll learn more about it as you go through the AutoSave certification programs. There's no enrollment fees. There are no cancellation fees. You can set it once, and AutoSave does the rest. Guaranteed minimum savings while participating in Think Energy's smart thermostat program. That's something you can say. That's a new talking point that we didn't have 2 days ago. You can upgrade by connecting a compatible smart thermostat by March 29th and unlock guaranteed minimum 5% savings as long as you are part of the program. See how powerful that is. These are things that we were not able to say. Now, the top three statements, yes, we've been able to say those all along because those are AutoSave statements. But now we have the ability to add this new terminology in there to move customers into action. You know, when I heard about this, I mean, I live in Connecticut. So my state isn't even an AutoSave state. I'm just on a fixed rate electricity plan, the old school way. We don't have AutoSave yet in Connecticut. Maybe we might get it in the future. I don't know. Maybe not. We don't have a smart thermostat program yet, but I've prepared for it, so I went out myself personally. I looked at that list of thermostats and I was like, I'm going to get one of those thermostats. And you know what? I found a program in my state that allowed me to get a thermostat. I ended up picking it up for $20. And so I'm ready when it happens. I don't know if it'll ever happen or not, but now I have a smart thermostat for $20. And you know what? It allows you to do some things and look at your energy costs yourself if you don't want somebody else to do it. So always a good thing, no matter what market you're in my opinion, just preparing for the future. So here's some things about what not to say. And that's what I love about corporate. They always have with us with the do this, not that, say this, not that. So don't say sign up and save forever. Like that would not be a good thing to say. Okay, what if you're no longer on the AutoSave platform? What if you move? What if you take your thermostat down and you have a new thermostat and it's not the same? What if you're no longer part of the program? Whatever it is, you don't want to say people save forever, sign up once and save forever no matter what happens. No, the customer could no longer be a customer anymore. How are they going to save forever? You're always served by Think Energy. Well, we don't want to say that in AutoSave markets because unless you have a smart thermostat connected, you may not always be served by Think Energy. It's a possibility, but it doesn't mean you're always going to be served by Think Energy because in AutoSave markets, if for some reason the utility has a lower rate than what your personalized AutoSave rate is with Think Energy, then you're going to be moved to the utility rate. So you're not always served by Think Energy, and you can't say guaranteed lifetime savings. We don't say that in the AutoSave markets. And no impact to comfort. That's not a great way to say it. What it is, a great way to say it is it's prioritized for comfort. And we're going to talk a little bit further about that in a second as well. It's protecting our brand. This is what matters. We want to have clarity in the market. We want to say the right thing to customers so that we build trust, so that there's no misconceptions, and we have a long-term business and we have a long-term customer in the process. So let's always be saying the right things. So now what if my customer doesn't have a thermostat? Again, we're repeating some of this, but repetition is key. AutoSave standard still applies. And while there's no guarantee of savings, the customers are protected from overpaying. They're not going to pay more than the utility price to compare. They have that built-in assurance with this program. AutoSave standard remains a strong no-risk starting point. In fact, I wish we had AutoSave where I live in Connecticut. It would be amazing. I'd be running around to every person I know in the state of Connecticut being like, are you kidding me? Why would you ever do anything else other than AutoSave? I can't wait. And if we ever get it in this state, it'll be amazing. So if you have AutoSave, if you're one of those 6 markets that already has AutoSave, you guys have something that no one else has outside of your 6 states. And so really need to capitalize on that. It's an amazing platform. They can upgrade anytime by connecting a compatible device. This is the best part about it. Every AutoSave customer can simply, in the states where we're open for smart thermostat, New Jersey, Illinois, and Pennsylvania right now, they can simply add that on and unlock that savings. So again, powerful. AutoSave refresher, well, This is kind of like just reviewing how the program works. The first thing is the customer enrolls in AutoSave. It gives Think Home Solutions, which is the company that they're actually signing up with. Think Home Solutions is a company, a broker company that handles the switching, that gets agency, as we call it. They have the power to move a customer back and forth between Think Energy's rate and the utilities rate, depending on which one is the better rate. So that's where Think Home Solutions comes in. Think Energy is the supplier. They're not moving the customer back and forth to themselves and the utility. No, Think Home Solutions is doing that. So Think Energy then provides that personalized rate for the customer. And if the rate beats the utility, then AutoSave, Think Home Solutions AutoSave, switches them automatically to one of those two things. They're either saving with Think Energy or they're protected from price increases with the utility, move to the utility with the standard rate. So that's how AutoSave works. And just as a refresher, so you know the difference between Think Home Solutions and Think Energy. It's important that we are accurate when we're talking about that as well. Here's how customers get started with the AutoSave and Smart Thermostat program. They enroll in AutoSave first. Again, going to repeat this over and over again. And it's the same messaging that we're using with our upcoming home battery technology in Texas. You have to be a customer first, okay, to be able to do this. You can't just say, oh, I'm just going to connect my smart thermostat and get 5% guaranteed savings. No, you have to become an AutoSave customer first. The second step is connect a compatible smart thermostat. And then third, you'll start saving automatically. So it's 1, 2, 3. Very simple. This to me is the easiest slide when you're talking to people. I mean, this messaging right here, if this is what you're taking to your customers, this will work. And, as long as you're, letting them know how AutoSave works. But 1, 2, 3, it's pretty simple as far as getting the customer on and handling their expectations of what's going to happen. So this is great. This is the guide, and I love it I love that corporate is calling this a guide because it's one page. I love one-pager guides. You can download this guide at thinksuccess.plus. So you can do that. But it's this simple guide. I mean, the steps are first you enroll in AutoSave, as we talked about, then you connect your smart thermostat. Well, how do you do it? You go to autosave.thinkenergy.com and you enter your email address that's associated with your AutoSave account. See, if you don't, like right now, I'm not an AutoSave customer. I went onto this website to see if I could put my email address in. It said, sorry, you're not an AutoSave customer. I just wanted to see how it worked. If I was an AutoSave customer, it would then move me to the second step. Click on the link in your email from Think Home Solutions to access your Think Home Solutions account, THS. And then you navigate to the devices menu, devices in the menu, and you select connect your smart thermostat or connect your thermostat. Once you've done that, you're just going to choose which of the compatible devices you have from the list, either Ecobee, Honeywell, Residio, or other supported brands, because in the future we'll have more. Right now it's those three. You're then going to follow the connection prompt, and it's going to walk you through as they verify and link your thermostat. And then you'll receive a confirmation and it unlocks guaranteed savings. Guys, it's pretty simple. It's go to a website, select devices, select your thermostat, and follow the prompts. Okay, this is very simple. This is something that you can just take this and give this to a customer and they can do this on their own. I mean, if you want to walk them through, that's fine. But we're not in the business of walking customers through. We're in the business of bringing customers to the platform and giving them the power to go and do the things that they need to do to unlock that 5% savings. Now, it's certainly easy once you have this in front of you. If it's on your phone, you could certainly walk a customer through it. But you should always send this to a customer, I would think. At least I will. Personally, myself, that's my personal opinion. I want to empower the customer to go and do this, because if they do it and they see how simple this is and they did it themselves, they're going to go tell somebody else to do it. And now you're going to have another customer, because that's how this works, So I think it's very simple what they've done. A one-page guide is just brilliant. It's awesome. Here's some FAQ. And we'll kind of pause here a little bit, and we'll go through a couple of the FAQs. And I may have Charla or Kelly or Shannon or anybody from corporate who wants to kind of chime in here. I'm just going to go through a couple of these FAQs, and then if there's anything else that you guys need to add, please do. Here's the first one. How can I tell if my customer has connected their smart thermostat? I love this one. You'll see it on your personal customer report. There's a new field that shows true connection status. So you can just go in there and you can confirm whether the customer has activated the thermostat, enhanced autosave experience. So they've made it pretty simple. Not sure if there's anything else that we need to discuss there, Kelly, or anything that you guys want to add in, or Shannon or Charla. I just wanted to kind of pause there just in case we have anything else that we need to add.
No, you're spot on. I think Tony, unless Shannon or Charla have anything, I think the main thing is that we just wanted to make sure that everybody had the visibility that they needed while they're building and growing in this market.
Yeah, this is phenomenal. I love this. And you guys, first of all, there's an FAQ, and I'll tell you right now, if you have not gone in to your web office and gone to Think Success, and just even if you just hit the home button on that, okay, just take you to the home button and hit the magnifying glass and just put in the word thermostat, which is what I did. And it took me right to the AutoSave and thermostat FAQ. And that thing is chock full of information, including the guide that we just showed you. It's all right there. It even has some awesome, the FAQs are there, but it has these really cool scripts. And I'm going to read one. I'm going to bring them up on the screen in a sec because I was like, this is perfect. I don't know, whoever at corporate wrote those little scripts, there's like two different ones, like a simple one and a more detailed one, depending on the type of person you are and the type of person you're talking to, what your style is. But I was like, I'm sitting there going, man, it would have taken me a long time to write these things. I would have had to have used some chat GPT or whatever to get to the point where those words are the way they are, the way they're set up. It's perfect. I can't wait to share that with you in a second. But what we know is what you earn, when you sign up AutoSave customers. Personally, you get $20 for every AutoSave customer that you enroll, and of course, residual income on those customers. And if it's a level 1 customer, you get $10 if it's somebody you sponsor and they bring in that customer. And then, of course, as you rank up and you gain rank and code, you can start earning more and more of that $20 extra that's available through the ranked and coded teams. So there's a total of $50 released to the field on every single customer that comes in through AutoSave. And, you have access to be able to go out and help your team build and you build, and in the process, earn a lot of money, bringing these customers in. And then, of course, residual income along the way. So let's talk for a sec about an example. Let's say that over on the left, you signed up a Band 2 customer and you enrolled them in August of 2025. Great. We have this chart. First of all, it shows all the months from August through July of the next year. That's 12 months. It shows you the utility, whether the utility is servicing you as a customer or whether Think Energy is servicing you as a customer. Then it shows you what you get for residuals from the number of utility customers, the times that they're on the utility, that they're with their local utility provider, and the times where you get full residuals when they're with Think Energy as their supplier. So this is how the AutoSave mechanism works. Well, what we know is that we get 12 months of residual income when the customer signs up. So even if they're with the utility the entire time, we're still getting 12 months of residual, even if they're not being serviced by Think Energy. That's one of the greatest powers of this platform, is you're always going to get residual income, whether the customer is at the utility because they have a better rate, or whether they're with Think Energy on their own personalized rate because they have a better rate. But this is an example that shows you, let's say this customer comes in. Well, for these months over here, 1, 2, 3, the first 3 months, they're with the utility, say, because the utility had a better rate. Great. You're still going to get residual income. Then in November, hey, guess what? Your personalized rate kicked in and it's better than the utility. So we're going to move you to the utility for the next 2 months because it looks like it's better those months. Great. AutoSave automatically moves the customer to Think Energy, and you get the utility residual plus the full Band 2 residual. This is how the platform works. You're going to get these residuals all the way through for the first 12 months, whether they're with the utility or not. And when they're not with the utility, you're going to get that added benefit of getting paid full residual from Think Energy. So you can kind of, in a sense, double up in those first 12 months when the customer is with on the Think Energy personalized rate. So it just follows as you go. Yes, they're with the utility. Yes, they're with the utility. No, they're not with the utility. You can see there are 12 months of utility residuals paid out and then full residuals whenever the customer is with Think Energy as their supplier. So somebody asked me the other day, what if the customer's always with Think Energy as their supplier? Well, then you're going to get 12 months of 50% of band one residuals, because that's what you get when the customer is with the utility. Doesn't matter what their band is, you get 50% of band one. But then every month when they're with the utility, you're going to get the full band. If they're band three or band four or band five, you're going to get that full band payout, but you're still picking up that 50% of band one residual for 12 months. So a lot of people don't know that. And that's an important feature that we have here. You're going to be able to make a lot of money up front residually with all these customers. Here's another FAQ, frequently asked question. Why isn't AutoSave with Smart Thermostat available in all states? Well, it has to do with that thermostat enhanced AutoSave experience. It depends on access to the specific utility, and it depends on the smart meter data. And not every state or every utility supports that data yet. So you can think of it this way. There may be states that we go into in the future where some of the utilities were able to do the smart thermostat program and other ones in that state were not able to because it's utility by utility. So important to understand that. Why is there a March 29th deadline for the 5% thermostat offer? This is an intentional window. That end date, March 29th, it aligns with PJM. What is PJM? It's all these markets, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, all the PJM markets that start from the mid-Atlantic coast out to Illinois. So it's Illinois, Ohio, Pennsylvania, it's New Jersey, Delaware, Washington, D.C. All of those states are part of the PJM market, and they have these things called capacity markets, where there are auctions that go on and deadlines for getting power. This all happens behind the scenes. We don't even need to know about this from an EA standpoint. All the customer knows is, well, I get energy, great, and it has a rate on it, great. But this is what's going to allow Think Energy to responsibly offer guaranteed savings is based on those capacity market deadlines. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this as well as we go. Here's another question. Why is the timing different in Texas with the smart thermostat program versus the PJM markets, the AutoSave markets, let's call it? It's because there's a different value that is created in different markets. In Texas, there are no capacity market auctions. It's kind of like, I like to think of Texas like this. Texas is the same all year round. Doesn't matter. Every day is exactly the same. There aren't these capacity markets. The value is created simply by having what's called cost avoidance, by shifting electricity usage away from high cost events, peak demand time, and moving it to off peak. That's where the savings is created. And that's why every customer in Texas can sign up anytime they want, and they can get that $10 a month guaranteed every month through Think Smart, because every single day is exactly the same in the state of Texas with regards to our smart thermostat program in that state. In the PJM markets, the savings are driven by real-time load shifting rather than enrollment in Texas, savings are driven by real-time load shifting rather than enrollment in capacity auctions. And so it doesn't take into considerations the customer's capacity. But in those PJM markets, the value is a combination of the two things. It's the load shifting, moving the usage from one time to another, plus the capacity that has to do with those auctions. And so Think can best optimize a customer's cost by participating in those PJM capacity markets. And that's why those are events that happen throughout the year, and why Think is going to be looking at those capacity auctions and those capacity markets in PJM and deciding when to allow enrollments to happen based on what's happening on the ground in the energy markets in those states. That's just the way it is, and that's what we're going to be dealing with as we move forward, because you can't change the energy sector. You can only work through it. I don't know if there's anything else there that we need to add from Kelly or from Charla or from anybody else. I just wanted to pause here because we're going through a lot of information quickly. I like to pause wherever we can in case there's anything else that needs to be added to this particular slide.
I'm just looking to see if Charla's unmuted to be able to speak. I'm not sure.
No worries. You can just interrupt me as I'm going. I just wanted to make sure, personally myself, I understand this. I've been in the energy market myself for a long time. I know what auctions are and capacity market auctions. And if you want, just go Google it. I mean, just go look it up. Go chat GPT it or whatever and look up PJM capacity market auctions. It'll tell you what's happening in your state. Maybe you live in that state and you had no idea that there are these capacity auctions going on. And it's those capacity markets is what determines when Think Energy is going to be able to offer these savings, and why it's so important to grab it while you can, because you don't know when the next one is going to be.
That's the point I was going to say, Tony. That's literally what I was going to say.
Okay.
We only know this one. We don't know if there'll be another opportunity this year, if it'll be in 27. We literally don't know. If there is, you betcha you'll be the first to hear about it. But this is the one that we know we can participate in for this year. So make it matter for your AutoSave customer and for your new customers who are coming in with AutoSave. So that's the key. Just getting people going with that one-page guide that Tony just trained y'all on.
I love it. I love the way you've simplified this. I mean, it is incredible. And I'll tell you, I'll add another thing to that. Here's the best thing you can do. If you don't know when the next capacity, market auction is, or the capacity, platform is, we don't know the next time after March 29th. We don't know that yet. There's no crystal ball yet. So if you don't know that, what is the best thing you can do? The best thing you can do is go build a team of customers and bring in a team of EAs who continue to gather customers every single month after month after month, even while you don't know that the capacity is going to become available, so that when it does hit, you're ready. Like you have the most customers. Whoever has the most customers on AutoSave at the next open enrollment for it, that's who's going to win, in that point, and their customers are going to be very happy about the program. So that's the key. It's similar to what Charla and everybody at corporate have been telling us to do with the battery program in Texas. What do we do there? We're signing up as many customers onto Think Energy electricity service in that state ahead of the program. It's the same thing here. So customer FAQ, what if I don't have a thermostat? Well, you can still enroll in AutoSave Standard, which ensures that you never pay more than the utility. That's great. That's like a 24/7 all you can eat buffet. That's what I think of it as. I'm in Connecticut. We have to think about rates, and if the customer is on a rate with another supplier, we have to compare, we have to do all these things, and you have to worry about the market conditions. In the AutoSave markets, you don't need to deal with any of that. You just go to the customer, every single customer. You can help every single customer with AutoSave, because everybody should want to be able, almost 90% of people will say, yeah, put me on a platform where I don't have to think about it anymore. And just let me be part of it. And I'll never pay more than the utility. I'll never be price gouged. I'll never have a company jack my rate up at the end if I forget to renew. So what happens if I'm already with another electricity supplier? That's the question that comes up all the time with AutoSave. Well, if a customer is already enrolled with another retail electricity supplier, it's important to understand how AutoSave interacts with the existing service. So Think Home Solutions, which is the company, the broker company that handles the switching between Think Energy and the utility company, whenever it's beneficial to the customer. Think Home Solutions and Think Energy, they can't advise the customer on switching suppliers. They can't manage the cancellations. Think Energy, Think Home Solutions can't go in and cancel your supply contract with another supplier. That's between you and that supplier. So that responsibility stays with the customer. So when you enroll through AutoSave, and if a customer is with a third-party supplier, enrolling in AutoSave may move them off of that supplier and on to Think Energy or back to the utility company, which could then trigger an early termination fee if they happen to have one with a current supplier. Now, most customers don't have that, but don't take the risk. Okay. So it depends on their contract that they have. So checking with the customer to find out, do you have an early termination fee? That could potentially be triggered by you signing up with AutoSave. Now, if AutoSave is active, so let's say the customer's already an AutoSave customer. They've been with us for 6 months. We've moved them to Think Energy and to the utility company whenever it was, beneficial to them. And now all of a sudden they go and sign up with a new supplier. Okay. That new supplier, that rate might go on to their bill, and that customer might have a new early termination fee associated with that. But if the customer hasn't notified Think Home Solutions to stop the AutoSave, if they have not canceled their AutoSave, then we're still going to move that customer between the utility and the supply and Think Energy whenever it's beneficial to the customer. The AutoSave monitoring platform to monitor and make sure that customer is always being charged either Think Energy's rate below the utility or the utility's rate, that's going to continue to happen until the customer cancels. So make sure your customer understands that as we're going. Very important to understand that. And I know just revolving around this, there's a few other questions that come up as far as questions regarding other suppliers, or what happens when I sign up with Think Home Solutions and AutoSave. So let's just talk a couple bullet points about this, and we're going to get a lot more clarity on this as we go. I can tell you that. But what I will say is that when any customer signs up with Think Home Solutions, I've been in the energy market since 2012. So I already know that it takes 1 to 2, and on the outskirts, sometimes 3 billing cycles, but generally 1 to 2 billing cycles for a customer to switch, okay, to a new supplier or a new service. Okay, it takes 1 to 2 billing cycles to do that. So when a customer let's say they're with Think Energy right now with a fixed rate, or they're with another supplier with a fixed rate, and they sign up for AutoSave, it's going to take 1 to 2 billing cycles for that customer to become active with AutoSave. Okay. Well, let's say in that 1 to 2 billing cycles, that customer, their fixed plan that they have with the supplier is ending 1 month in, but they signed up for AutoSave. Well, whatever the terms and conditions are with that supplier, like, here's what your rate is going to be at the end of your term if you don't renew, or here's what's going to be the rate that we charge you if you do renew. Whatever those policies are with that existing supplier during that 1 to 2 month period, that's still going to apply because AutoSave has not kicked in. There hasn't been any change made. So it's important to advise your customer based on when they're signing up and if they have a supply contract and a rate that they're looking to keep for a period of time, it's important to let them know that whatever they have right now is still in their terms and conditions with that supplier is still going to apply for the next 1 or 2 months before they can get on to AutoSave. So AutoSave is not going to go and cancel that contract the day that you sign up. They can't do that. Think Energy is not going to cancel the supply contract. They can't do that. That's up to the customer. So if a customer, and I just talked about somebody this morning with a customer and an advisor, and they said, well, I have a rate right now. It's going to end in 2 months. And I'd like to sign up for AutoSave because I don't want to do this switching anymore. I don't want to deal with this. And I said, great. I said, so sign up for AutoSave right now. And sometime between now and the time that your contract and your rate ends with your other company, if your rate is ending in 2 months, You might want to let it ride out for 2 months, but you're right at that point where, the customer might actually go into what happens at the end of their term because they wrote out the term. So I said to this customer, I said, if you really want to make sure you're not paying more than the utility, then you should call your utility company sometime in the next days or in the next few weeks, certainly before your term runs out with your existing supplier, and you should cancel so that you can then start fresh with AutoSave and you won't ever pay more than the utility. And they were like, oh, okay. I said, yeah, because we can't cancel that supply contract for you. So it's just one of those things that if they're in that window where something is about to change on their term contract, their supply contract within the next 1 to 2 months, the customer needs to make a decision. Do I let it ride out and see what happens at the end of that term? Or do I cancel now so that there's a clean start? So it's up to that. It's up to the customer. We want to let the customer know what happens, at the end, that their supply contract is still going to be intact and effective with their supplier until AutoSave actually kicks in. So important to know that. This is my favorite slide of the whole thing because they've put all kinds of tools together. We have great flyers that are coming out, the connection guide. There's going to be social media graphics, customer flyers. There's an updated AutoSave sales guide for us as well. So we have the EA side taken care of. We have the customer side taken care of. There's updated landing pages. So when customers are, signing up, they can get information there. And then, of course, our updated FAQs. So there's a lot of information. This stuff is going to hit BAM. It's going to hit Think Success in our web office. Lots of information that's happening here with what we have going on. And this is a great slide too. This is our moment. This enrollment window may not reopen this year, so act now. That's the marching orders. I mean, Charlie, you just heard it from Charlotte. Act now. We don't know if we're going to get another window in 2026. We might, but there's no guarantee. Okay. And, so get those customers in by March 29th so that you can take advantage of this. And what I'm also going to do right now, because I just want to share this, it's so cool. I love these words. This business, if anyone hasn't really figured out, aside from going out and gathering your customers and building a team and helping them gather customers, once you've done that and you're doing like the 5-3-5 building block of this business, the business is built from one key line to the next. Like it's so accurate to say that, because when people realize and have the right words to say, it empowers them to go out and do more than they would ever do before. And I believe that, I'm going to share my screen right here because I think corporate has really hit a home run on this one, where they're actually, they put some really the great wording here. This is, if you go into your web office or you go into your BAM app, you can go to Think Success right from there. So I'm in Think Success right now, and you're seeing my screen. Let me see if I can make that bigger. There we go. I'm just going to type in thermostat. All right, so I type in thermostat. All right, great. I type in thermostat and I hit enter. Now what pops up? The first thing that pops up is AutoSave plus Smart Thermostat FAQ. When I click on this FAQ, it brings me to this page, this post that has every single thing that you could possibly want to learn about frequently asked questions. Everybody should read this. It has, I'm not going to go through all of it, but it has, they just updated this. The thermostats are already in there. You don't have to go to the other things that I was just talking about. It's already there. It was just updated in real time while we were talking. All the thermostat models are right there. The connection guide is right there. This is so cool. They've done everything. It's all in here, allowing us to go and do the things that we need to do. So
I'll just add really quick. If you go
Yep.
to BAM right now, when you go into your BAM app, if you scroll down just a little bit where it says Think Plus products, we have it broken out by states. So if you scroll over to, let's say, New Jersey, click on the New Jersey folder, you're going to see the flyers of the social assets that says enroll in AutoSave, then connect your thermostat. We've already got everything already uploaded for you there based on the state. So that's one of the things we're trying to provide so that you can go in by state and know what's available in that state for you, what you can share. So we've already got that uploaded as well too.
They're doing it. I mean, I love that there's a sales talk track, right? This is, and I don't, I have to go find, I just stopped my share, but I'll just read it to you because I have it on my phone right now. So I'm in Think Success on my phone. Sales talk tracks. It talks about a 30-second pitch and a one-line summary. Listen to this 30-second pitch. Pretend you're a customer. AutoSave with a compatible smart thermostat guarantees a minimum of 5% savings versus your utilities price to compare for customers who connect by March 29th. During months, they're served by Think Energy. You enroll once, you connect a thermostat that you already own or you go and get, and AutoSave handles the rest. No supplier shopping, no fees, and comfort is prioritized. Okay, that is a compelling proposition. I don't care what customer who you're talking to, business owner, individual, organization, whatever it is, that is a compelling little 3 sentences that they've put in there. How about this one, the one-line summary? And this is, everybody should bake this into their mind, right? AutoSave protects customers from overpaying, and customers who connect a compatible smart thermostat by March 29th can unlock guaranteed savings. This is the talking point right here. I mean, that's worth repeating. AutoSave protects customers from overpaying, and customers who connect a smart thermostat by March 29th can unlock guaranteed savings. You guys, I've been in this industry for 13 years, 14 years, 14 years now. I've been in for 14 years. And, I've been in this, I've seen companies on a 1% guaranteed savings, bring in 400,000 customers in one state. And we have the ability to offer now in writing a 5% or more guaranteed savings simply by connecting a smart thermostat. This is a powerful platform that we have. No one else is doing this. We're first to market. And so if we take advantage of this, we'll be able to do some great things together as a team, and you'll be able to build a massive organization that is thriving, growing, getting bonuses up front every week, and creating residual income that will set you free. That's what we have our hands on.
And when energy advisors, as you are just working your business, doing just what Tony just shared, one reach out at a time, one connection at a time, one thermostat connected at a time. The byproduct of that is that you will be earning growth credits, towards Back to the Future, so it's just by working your business daily, consistently, persistently, the byproduct is that you've got these other things that you can be earning as well. And that's the exciting thing, is to just watch everybody, really commit to going after this, working it step by step, and growing their businesses. Super excited for everybody. And this great training, Tony, by the way, like great information.
It's a lot of information. This is the most slides I've ever done on a training ever in my life, I think. So it's a lot of information. So it's like drinking from a fire hose. But Larry had a question in chat. Can an existing customer whose rate is going to expire prior to March 31st, are they still eligible for the 5% savings as long as they have or get a smart thermostat? That's the question. So I would say absolutely. They need to sign up, and they need to connect their smart thermostat to their, get onto AutoSave, get verified, and then connect your smart thermostat so you can get that savings. Absolutely. What I would do is I would make sure that you let the customer know they're on a rate with another supplier, is what it sounds like, Larry. That's what I'm going to assume from your question. That customer is on a rate and it's going to expire prior to March 31st. What you don't want to have happen is them sign up for AutoSave and then expect AutoSave to kick in before their contract with their existing supplier expires. AutoSave doesn't know that. They don't know what that date is, okay? And they can't cancel the contract anyway. Only the customer can. So in that case, if that customer was coming up to and about to expire on March 31st, I would tell them, you either cancel now or cancel sometime prior to your end of your contract date. Like, call your utility company and cancel. Don't call your supplier and cancel, because that'll take 1 to 2 billing cycles to switch back. But if they call the utility company, it will happen right away. So that's what I would advise that customer to do, Larry, because they're in that window where it's 1 to 2 months, in the next 1 to 2 billing cycles, their supplier is about to expire. Well, if they don't do something, they might end up getting a month of a very high rate if that supplier jacks the rate up according to their contract terms. So that question is exactly what we were talking about, and I appreciate that question. I have Nick on here. Not sure if I heard right. When someone is with a third-party supplier, does the other company essentially take the place of their utility from an AutoSave switching standpoint? No, I would say no on that. I would say that when somebody's with a third-party supplier, they sign up for AutoSave, AutoSave is going to move them between Think Energy and their local utility company within 1 to 2 billing cycles, depending on which one of those, either Think Energy or the local utility company, whichever one has the lower rate. So I would say that in that question, Nick, the third party supplier becomes irrelevant. They just need to end that supplier agreement if they're in that switching window that we talked about. Kelly or Charla, I don't know if there's anything else that you guys want to add to that.
Not that I have to add
seems
to
like,
that.
I mean, that's pretty much.
That's the answer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I've got Steve. Steve wrote a book.
Oh, wow.
How about this? Can a customer override the smart thermostat? I have an inkling of an answer for that because I know how it works in Texas, and I'm not sure if it works the same in PJM or not. Charla or anybody else, do you have an idea on can the customer override the thermostat at any time?
Yeah, absolutely. You're always in control of your comfort level, your environment. We control it, and then you have the ability to control it. We still can, control it. We're not going to go against what the customer wants there. And it's not the minute to minute type of control. I'll say it that way. So yes, you always retain control of your smart thermostat.
Love it.
Great
Okay,
question.
fantastic. So these might be technical questions. What happens if a customer has an interruption with their internet service for a short period of time?
That one I don't know. There may be situations where the customer needs to know they need to reconnect their thermostat and have that one pager. Because if a Wi-Fi goes out for a little bit, does it reconnect? I don't know. If it goes out for a whole day, does it not reconnect? Like some of that may be dependent upon the outage situation too, right? But the customer does need to be prepared to know if you want to keep.
I think we lost you there, Charla.
Yeah. Not sure if you can hear us.
I'll also just chime in there too, because I know in Texas how it works. And there are times in Texas where a customer has had to, during like an extended power outage or internet outage, they have had to go back in and reconnect their smart thermostat, which is very simple. If you've already done it once, it takes almost no time. And they were notified, to do it as well.
Yes, that's right. That's key. There will be a customer journey and conversation that happens if the thermostat for some reason is disconnected on our end and we see it.
Somebody said, "Hey, Charlie, your internet service just went out while we were talking." How
I
funny
think
is that?
it is. I think it literally just went out. You're exactly right.
No more questions about internet outages. I was just kidding. Let's see. Wayne, this is somewhat not really related, but are we compensated with growth credits and a customer point? I guess it's kind of related. So I'll let you guys answer that one. Do we get growth credits and a customer point or a customer point for connecting a smart thermostat? What do we get, if anything?
I believe that there's a growth credit. I've got to go just double check the fine print on the Back to the Future, but I do believe that when you're connecting a thermostat, I do believe that is a growth credit.
Yep. That's what it sounds. That's what I'm aware of as far as my expectation as well. So great there. Portia, I have several customers who were on a 5-month rate and enrolled with AutoSave, but their recent bills are showing that Think Energy rate is more. And if they were with PSE&G, their rate would have been lower. Yeah, well, that's exactly what we're talking about. So if the customer is on a 5-month rate with Think, they signed up on a 5-month rate. I'm assuming that's a 5-month rate and enrolled with AutoSave. So if their recent bills are showing that PSE&G has a higher rate, then they would be moved to the Think Energy rate. But if they were on a 5-month fixed rate, they would stay on that 5-month fixed rate until AutoSave kicks in. And AutoSave wouldn't kick in until the end of that term, because if they signed up on a 5-month term rate, Think Energy has to honor that rate unless the customer decides to do something to change that. So that rate has to stay there until AutoSave would then kick in at the end of that fixed rate. So that's what we're looking at in that situation. I know there's a lot of customers that are in that situation because we signed up a lot of customers on fixed rates that then runway to AutoSave rates when we had them. Albie, do we get paid commission on thermostats? The answer is no. We don't. There aren't any. We don't get any bonuses for connecting smart thermostats. What we get is we get a long-term customer residual that is going to be with us for a very, very long time, because people don't cancel. They're not. I mean, nobody's going to give up. I mean, I remember having a 1% savings in the industry. Like I said, you could have somebody come up to that customer and say, I'll give you 30% off for 6 months. And they'd be like, yeah, but can you guarantee that I'm going to save, for the whole year? Or can you guarantee that I'm going to save month after month? No, but we can get you 6 months at 30%. But what happens at the end of that? Oh, well, if you don't renew, then we're going to jack your rate up. And they were like, okay, thanks. I'll keep my 1% guarantee. Yes, it's very difficult for people to give up a 5% or more guaranteed savings, especially if they get more than 5%. Are you kidding me? It'd be like under promising and over delivering. And that's what we have set ourselves up for here. So, that's what I love about what we're doing. So great question there. And I think, let's see, I think that's it for that. See, I saw that Ma has a hand up. We're going to have to go through questions real quick here because we're at the top of the hour. We're going to go like 2 questions. So go right ahead. Ma.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm here.
There
Can
you
you
go.
hear me? Okay, great.
I can hear you.
I just want to know where on BAM do we go to get the information for the smart thermostat on
So
BAM?
yeah, so you can find it when you log on to BAM, if you scroll down to where it says, I have to look and see, Think Plus products, and you'll see the states, and I believe they're in alphabetical order. So like, Illinois. So if you click on the Illinois folder, then you should see all the different various things there that you can share out in regards to the thermostat.
Oh, great. Thank you.
You bet.
Love it. Fantastic. I just saw Don with smart thermostat. You get residual every month since we will always be cheaper than the local utility company. Yes, indeed, with the smart thermostat. I have Cheney. Go right ahead.
Yes, hi. Okay, will there be a global email going out to all the customers telling them about the smart thermostat?
That's a great question.
I think that should be.
To our existing customers, Kelly, and Charlie, would we have an email go out to our existing AutoSave customers? Is that something that can happen or not?
It's not right now. We're giving EAs the opportunity to be the hero, you to be the one to connect them to that offer. So we're never going to jump the gun and get into you guys. We want you to be the hero. You be that advisor. You be that trusted person that they look to first and foremost. I'm sure as we get closer to the deadline, yes, we'll make sure we've got something in there that captures everybody if you haven't been able to get to them. But right now, the focus is in on you guys and giving you this opportunity to go with this irresistible offer. That's the key.
Right. Oh, okay. So I mean, I don't have that many customers yet. I just joined a few weeks ago. Let's have almost 20 customers. But for people who do have, why can't the email say it's a new program and reach out to your EAs?
Yeah, for sure. It will. It just won't be right now. Like it won't be this week or next week. It will be, we'll give it a little bit of runtime for you guys to get out there and be sharing the message, and then we'll follow. That's just out of respect for your role as an energy advisor. I always want to make sure you guys get to be that first person to tell them. It's kind of like you've got the ice cream and you get to be the mom at the party giving ice cream, or you get to be the mom at the party, giving out the napkins. I'd rather be giving the ice cream. And that's what
right. Okay. So is there a flyer? I know you said on BAM. I mean, I was looking through the Think Plus, for like a good flyer stating, that it's out, and I know,
Yeah.
so is there something I could, okay, I guess I'm gonna look.
Like Kelly said, go to your state, go into BAM, scroll
Right.
down to where Think Plus products, go to
Right.
your state, and then look through them. There's many different things that we've now uploaded. So there's a flyer, there's some social assets, there's a customer
Okay.
enrollment guide. Like, familiarize yourself with the toolbox that's in there now, because it's just all changed. I think that's the best thing for everybody to do is
There's a whole
everything
bunch.
just changed. Yeah.
There's a
Right.
whole
Is
bunch
it
of
only,
stuff.
is it only on BAM? Or is
Yes.
it on, oh, it's only on BAM? It's not under documents under the website? Because I tried to look there.
I don't know if they've got it loaded, anything loaded just on Think Success, but I know that BAM is probably the first place to go, because we know that's the quickest and easy way for you to share it out socially as you're texting. And we know people are on
Okay.
their phones all day long. So that's where we went with it first.
Okay, I didn't download that yet. I will. And also, I know we said if the Wi-Fi goes down, you're going to be saving during those times anyway? Like the electric, it's going to kick back. Do you see what I'm asking? Is it going to kick back to, not saving that 5% because Wi-Fi went down and it wasn't connected?
I don't know if I know the answer to that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it won't be that dynamic to where it goes on and off with a switch. But after a period of time and they get through a new billing cycle and, they've gone a certain amount of time, that's a good question for us to say, what is that? So we can certainly add that to the FAQs. But at some point, if the customer doesn't respond and reconnect their thermostat, at some point, then yes, they would go to a standard AutoSave program. So what is that time frame is a good question.
And also
We'll
these
shut up.
thermostats, I guess, are remote. Like if I'm not home and I know it went down, I could do it remotely and reconnect.
That's a good question. That you would have to follow that customer. I'm in Texas, so mine is going to look a little different than your enrollment process. We have a different portal that we use in Texas. So, that we're going to have to actually go through the process with a customer, and you'll be able to see if you'll be able to do it remote or if you've got to have access, for some reason to be doing it right there near it. That I don't know the answer either.
Okay.
Like, do you need to be
So,
standing in front of your thermostat, or can you be doing it from your office? Right? Like,
Right.
yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah,
Good
we'll have to
question.
find that out. Do you have to hit a button to do it, or
Yeah.
or can you do it remotely? Yeah, that's a great question. Cheney, coming up with the questions.
That's
Love
great.
it. Great
Those are,
job.
and this is what makes us better, is getting these questions
Do you
in
have
so
an
that we can-
IT? I'm looking
Yeah.
really for an IT job. I used to be in IT, project management. That's what I really sent my resume for, besides doing this. So if you have something.
I love it. I love it.
I will let you know that I'm just reading through the details. It does look like they've also loaded all of the same information into the marketing center as well too. So we've got everything in BAM. The reason I like BAM, y'all, is just that BAM is at your fingertips. It's with
Yeah.
you all the time. We know that everybody is on their phone, and it's just so easy to be able to like create what you need to the past for marketing and sharing out to people.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It is our primary tool for sharing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Okay, I'm going to connect it. Thank
Okay,
you.
last question. Thank you, Cheney. Appreciate that. And last question goes to Amy.
Hello. Hi.
Hey, Amy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great.
So sorry if I missed this. I was actually talking to a potential customer, so I hopped on a little late, but a number of people have talked to me about having multiple zones in their house.
Yeah.
And was that discussed already? So that was my first question. My second question is, if somebody does not have a smart thermostat, it looks like where I live in Pico, like you can get it on a Pico marketplace. So as long as we choose one of the ones that is compatible, and then do they need an electrician to install it? Like how is that involved? And then my third question is, being that we have such a short window of time, we were told, so is it a permanent savings? Even if they sign up March 26th, they're still going to save in August.
Yeah.
It's a permanent savings. And so being that it's such a short window of time, do we know what the status is of connecting with Nest, since that's what so many people have?
We won't be adding any new smart thermostat models as part of this
Okay.
enrollment window. So it's
Okay.
these three, and that's what we're running with.
Okay.
For this enrollment window. On the multiple zones, that's a great question. Ultimately, it's got to be able to manage the load that is responsible for their electric consumption. And I think that's the connected compatible, and the connected is we've got to be able to see that the thermostat they connect to is the one responsible for their load. And that's a key component of it. So if they connect to a smart thermostat and have a gas furnace, and that smart thermostat controls the gas, it's not going to change their load. That's
Okay.
part of the connected status, and why the language is very intentional. It also matches their terms of service, the addendum that goes with the smart thermostat. That's the addendum to their contract. So that's an important distinction. It needs to be their primary thermostat that's responsible for the majority of their their load. In
And
most
people
states,
should
that
know
makes it.
that? You think
It
people
should, but
should
if they've
know?
got a gas furnace, that may be one, like you guys have North gas furnaces up there. We don't have that in Texas. So it is about understanding what does that thermostat control, and make sure that it's your thermostat that is controlling your electricity consumption, not gas consumption, if that
But
makes sense.
they don't need to do it in all, like if there's two that do their electricity, they only need to do it
Primary.
in the main one.
The primary. Mhm.
Okay. And if we buy it on the marketplace, is there like, does an electrician have to install it? Can a person install it themselves? Like how?
My son installed it. Yeah. So I would say it's a pretty intuitive process. If I've got a 22-year-old that installed it, so I can't install it. I wouldn't feel like I could, but I know nothing about wires and all the things, and he really doesn't either. But he followed the instructions and installed the smart thermostat. So, but always use your best judgment. And if you feel like you want an electrician, need an electrician, then recommend that somebody have an electrician if that's what they feel like they need.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, fantastic. Well, last comment was Phyllis. So if we're guaranteed to be 5% with the thermostat lower than the utility, why would we ever switch to the utility? Exactly. Like that's exactly right. There's no, once you're connected with a smart thermostat and you're 5% lower than the utility, AutoSave is not going to switch you back to the utility. You're now with Think Energy getting that 5% or more guaranteed savings. So, Phyllis, great comment, and that's a wrap, I think, for what we've got going on today. I think Kelly, Charla, anything else we need to add before we wrap it up?
Fantastic training. Thank you, Tony, for
Yeah.
just being into everyone today.
Yes, yes. And the last thing I would say to everybody is it's always good to read. It's always good to read and consume these things, and not assume that AutoSave from when it originally launched. Like, we are kind of like new and improved, and I would say that's kind of the spirit of all the tools and everything that you heard Tony say is this is kind of a 2.0. So give yourself permission to be new again. Read through all the material that we have available to you. Reread through the FAQs, and you'll be setting yourself up for great success.
Fantastic. Charla, Kelly, Shannon, appreciate you guys being on. Everybody, thanks for being here. That's a wrap. We'll get this recorded. It'll be posted in Vimeo, YouTube, and then it will be eventually posted in BAM as well. We'll get that out as fast as we possibly can. Everybody, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Tony.
Take care,
Rock
everybody.
as always. You rock as
Have a
always.
good one. You made it easy. You guys made it easy. Thank you.